Thanks for joining us this evening and supporting these students in their music making. Just have a few reminders. First thing is we'd ask that audience not take any flash photographs while their musicians are performing. And then also please silence electronic devices and make sure there's no glow while you're able to watch the concert. And I'm just going to say this too. We've got CTN Studios back there videoing our concert. And if you haven't seen the work that they do, it is amazing. They're a group of professionals and do a really, really nice work. So I would say put away the phones, let them record the concert. You may not get a close-up for the whole concert of your kid, but they usually do try to get a bunch of close-ups as well during the concert. So you'll hopefully get that close-up that you're looking for as well. And they have really good quality cameras and really good crew. So, and then finally, I ask that you just stay seated, and if you do need to get up, please do so in between pieces, and the ushers may ask you to wait to reseat yourself so that you don't distract the people around you when you come back. Thank you. Each of these groups, I try to rotate who's doing first and second violin. I also tried to give this group a chance to sort of start taking autonomy for themselves and leading themselves. So you're going to see me leave the stage, and they're going to take the lead for a minute here and take the stage. You know, again, they're getting to be strong and independent musicians, and that's one of my visions for this program is they're strong, independent musicians, thoughtful, you know, kind as well, but developing that independence, you know, as they go through high school, as they get to college, and as they get to be young adults, being able to take over and teach themselves and teach others and form their own groups. And a lot of the students, you'll see that as they get more advanced, they get better and better at doing that. So. Leave it on? Oh, I did leave it on. Good. Okay. So the next piece we're doing, we're going to combine with a level 2, and it's called Ghostbusters. Sometimes we end the concert with this. We didn't think we'd last year if you were here. We ended the. It's a fun piece. The students like this, and we decided to do this in the middle of the program instead of ending it, so you can look forward to some more stuff. There's some more dances, as you'll see, like we did that tango. The idea was they stood up so they could dance. I mean, they danced a little bit. Yeah. So we're going to hopefully see some more dancing in level 3 when we do Shostakovich waltz, right? We're going to see some movement. Yeah, okay. So, because they've got some dance pieces they're playing as well. All right. A couple of things about this group. I just want to say there's a district honors orchestra auditions coming up in early December, and I did pass out music in class. Not everyone wanted it. We're going to do a little bit of reading of some of the music in class as well. And so that's coming up if you're interested in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So any of the 9th graders that you see up here could audition for that. And we have some very talented kids, so I'm encouraging them. And please ask the parents to do the same. Encourage them to try out for that. We'd love to see Coon Rapids, A Wave of Red, in that honors orchestra. So now we're going to switch. They're going to go off that way, right? And see if I can find a space to get out of the way here. Okay. A couple of other things that I forgot to mention. A lot of thank yous. I have several ushers tonight. Paul, Kate, Zach, Jen, and Miss Lundgren. I forget her first name. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for their help tonight with ushering. Also, very thankful to Miss Augustine, who's doing the lights up there in the booth and the sound. The stuff, it's like the wizard behind the curtain there, so. A couple other things. You know, we have 3 orchestras here. You've heard the first freshman orchestra. That was also combined with another group that we started just this year called the Beginner Orchestra. Now, we only had 3 students this year, and I didn't point them out to you because I didn't want to embarrass them, but hopefully they hid themselves pretty well in the ensemble, and because they were playing all the same songs. They started in September. September 7th was when they started Orchestra, so that's pretty, yeah, give them a round of applause, those, yeah. And if you know somebody who just wished they signed up for Orchestra, maybe a friend or family member who's in high school, beginner orchestra is for them. If they wanted to do band, well, there's also a beginning band. So if that's another thing that they're thinking about, every fall we'll start the school year with that, and if that's something that interests them. They've always wished to play clarinet. It's only a one-trimester class, and hey, they can say, hey, I just take it and I love it, but I think that's enough. Or I want to do more, then they can also switch around and do more. But it's something that's available for us. And we're trying to sort of make it work with the students, because a lot of students, you know, for whatever reason, middle school, they didn't stick with it, and now they're like missing it. And so I just want to give them that opportunity to jump back in. And as I said, I think I said before, I do try to switch in the level 1 and level 2 orchestras, the first and second violins. So everyone's getting a chance to play first, so everyone's getting a chance to play second violin throughout the concerts during the year. And because they play different ranges. You know, the second violins are mostly playing on their lowest 3 strings, and the first violins are playing mostly on their top 3 strings. So if you don't play one or don't play the other, then you sort of ignore half of your instrument or a third of your instrument. So. We're joined also by some wonderful percussionists from the band here coming up, and this is a fun piece. It's probably a mashup of like, I think 15 different songs, and so I didn't bother listing them all in the program. Hopefully you'll recognize most of them. Forgot to mention, there's sort of 2 different sets of concerts coming up next, and there's listed in the program. I mean, there's the fall play, which you should go see, Midsummer Night's Dream, wonderful. Everyone, not Summer, I keep saying that. Romeo and Juliet, that's a tragedy. What am I talking about? Duh, okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet, which is a wonderful, wonderful play that's coming up pretty soon. And then the next concert for level 1 and 2 is going to be our December 9th concert. And then Concert Orchestra and Cardinal Strings, which are now coming up on the stage, Cardinal Strings. Their concerts is our Traditions concert, which we do every year. Last year, we were selected to perform at the Music Teachers Convention at the state. It was the second year that Orchestra had performed there from here, and so, which was quite an honor. It's an auditioned, you send a tape in, they say, hey, we want you to play, type of thing. So, very excited to have you hear them play. So, again, this is our Chamber Orchestra Cardinal Strings. A few more still coming. Okay. It's an audition group. It meets before school, super early, 6:45. Can you imagine teenagers that can get up at 6:45? It's quite the challenge. Okay, but it's a fun group to work with. It's been a pleasure always to work with this group, and always a great way to start the day. So, most days. Okay. I enjoy it. I hope they do. There'll be some other opportunities coming up as well. I know Jazz Band is going to be getting kicked off around November. We have Fiddle Club starting around December and January. And then there's also All Conference, which we have our draft day tomorrow. Okay, finding out which of these kids are in that. So there's lots of things coming up soon as well for kids to do. So. Just a short note about the next piece. By the way, Nishimura, we went through a spate of her music. I think it was 2 years ago or a year ago. I love her music. Japanese composer, lives in America now. Went to college in New York, but beautiful, beautiful music. The next piece is an arrangement, but it's mostly because it had woodwinds and other instruments, so it's mostly just arranged in this one for strings only. And it has two movements. We just ask that there's an andante, and then it goes right into a fugue, and it just asks that you wait until the end of the fugue. And if you don't know what a fugue is, it's like a round or a canon, type of piece. So, and just listen for that in there. You'll hear lots of them like echoing each other throughout that. Did I turn it off? No, I didn't turn it off. Good. So the next set of pieces, two are also going to be a multi-movement work. We're doing the Caprioso by Peter Warlock, one of my favorite composers. We're just doing 3 of the movements. There's 6 total movements in here. And I just chose my favorites. Well, their favorites too, I think. Yeah, they enjoy this one. Ironically enough, their favorite one was the second movement, the Bavon, at least for a while. I don't know if it still is, but that was one of their favorites. They wanted to do that like every day, and they just love playing that one. So I hope you, and again, usually you think slow movement kids, they love they can emote and be expressive and all this fun stuff with that one. So I want to ask that you hold your applause until we finish the sword dance, the last one. And it's the one that has lots of dissonance. I sort of like to imagine with that one that they're doing a sword dance and something doesn't quite go right. And you hear some moments there. Nobody dies in the end. It all ends with a positive note, so don't worry. Nobody got hurt in that. But you can imagine that, like this clashing of swords, and somebody's going the wrong way, and oh no, there's a sword there, okay, type of thing. So, all right. So we'll get an instrument. So just want to say a couple of things. I think I mentioned about that. Let's see, oh yeah, I mentioned about the concerts coming up December 12th, 13th, and 14th. Oh, I forgot to mention the important thing. We have, I'll save that for later. Okay. I'll save that for later. Okay. again, you can hear what, maybe that's my favorite, I don't know. It's like a fiddle tune that gone awry. So we have also joined, I don't think I mentioned this in the program, Haley's gonna join us on snare drum on the next one. It says a variety orchestra, and so what that means, you know, if you imagine a pit orchestra playing for like a show and stuff like that, originally it started with a saxophone solo, and then it had a trombone solo and all sorts of stunt stuff. So this arrangement is a string arrangement, which maybe I'm a little biased, I like better, but anyway. But the drum set was, I think, having at least a snare drum on it makes it sound a little more authentic to the original version that Shostakovich composed. So we have one more piece, and yeah, the winds, come on in, come on in. So we are joined by more band members. You've been bringing them in little piece by piece, and now we get a big chunk of them. And this one we call this our Fuller Orchestra, sort of a tribute to Fuller House, one of my wife's favorite TV shows from the 80s. And it's a little fuller in here now, and just a little happier. Now, speaking of happier, let me read it. And again, I appreciate their extra work too. They're coming in also at 6:45 to get some of these pieces ready. And they really only had about 4 rehearsals. I shouldn't tell you that. I should tell you that after when you go, oh boy, that was amazing. And okay. But anyway, so a couple of things about this piece. You may not know it by Dance of the Hours. I mean, how many of you have heard of Dance of the Hours when I say that name of the piece? A few. So if you've seen Fantasia, the Disney movie, this is the one with the dancing hippopotamuses and the animated crocodiles. Now you're going, oh, maybe, or if that didn't ring a bell, there's a song by this guy named Alan Sherman. Hello, mother, hello, father, hello, yeah, you know that song. Anyway, this is the tune. This is the famous tune. It's originally from an opera. It's actually from Act 3, Scene 2. It's a dance sequence in the middle of this opera. And ironically enough, he's not that well known. How do I pronounce his name again? I'm probably going to butcher it. Poncinelli, and he was the teacher of a famous opera composer. You probably heard of Puccini, the guy that wrote Tosca and Bois Bohème and Madame Butterfly and Turandot. He was his teacher. So yeah, so he's got several claims to fame. Again, you never heard of this guy, never heard of his music, but you've heard this music. And I did forget to mention what I was going to say for later. We had three All-Staters that are up here on stage today. In the woodwinds, we had Tennyson Smith on clarinet today. We had Matthew Larson back on the bass. And you could hear it in her solos, but Judah on violin as well. Yeah. So congratulations. They got to perform in August, but they get to perform at Orchestra Hall in February. So you have to go see them play at Orchestra Hall on the big stage where all the big players play. We're going to take some yearbook pictures here, so thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate being an enthusiastic and supportive audience for these students today, and I hope you enjoyed. Again, don't forget to check out the CTN website if you want to see rebroadcast or share that with family friends. And again, we're going to start with concert orchestra. Remember, we just need some help with the stands up here if you can help us with that. And then I'm going to ask the audience, when they do take pictures, we have to be behind row J in the middle sections here so that you're not in the picture accidentally. Okay. I know you're going to try to photobomb us. Okay.